All right, welcome back. The next episode. I'm here with.
Liam Forsyth. That's a voicemail.
Yep. Oh yeah. Is that how you...
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying habit is interesting.
Yeah, I think building a habit is interesting. That's something that, because life, I think, like, is a series of habits, right? Your day is a series of habits.
Uh-huh.
So you want to build a good habit. But how to build a habit?
Yeah. How do you build a habit?
I think it's a lot easier
Mm-hmm.
than people think.
What do you mean? It's a lot easier.
I think it's like one decision you can make, and you just do it.
Okay.
You just have to be conscious enough to make the decision.
It's very simple.
Like, literally, right, I think, here's the thing. You know what I think it is?
What?
People forget things.
People forget things.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, so, what I was going to say is I'm going to go home, I'm going to write on the whiteboard exactly how many hours I want to spend reading, exercising, sleeping, like, in a day, right?
Okay.
So then, and then I'm going to find out in my day how I can figure that out, right?
Oh, okay, interesting, yeah.
Like, and then I'm going to have it written down for like a week. So as soon as I wake up, it's the first thing I see. So then I just do it, right?
Uh-huh.
But I think when people struggle to build a habit, it might be because they forget.
You know,
They don't have it written down.
Grant Cardone used to say, idle hands, devil's workshop. I feel like this kind of comes down to what you're saying is, if you don't have a time that's assigned to do something,
You're not
what are you going to do?
it. Mm-hmm. Procrastination.
You're going to procrastinate.
Yes.
I feel like procrastination might even have like multiple, like, maybe even bigger.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of reasons people procrastinate, I think. I think there's a lot of reasons.
Okay.
Procrastination's intense.
So I'm going to say, what did I learn today?
Mm-hmm.
What did I learn today? This is something when I started asking myself this question,
Yeah.
I noticed, like, sometimes I don't really know.
I think it's a powerful question. That's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, it like solidifies it a little bit more, I find.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I learned today, I got a little bit more perspective for the World War II video we watched. So we watched the video of D-Day. Bro, D-Day was fucked.
D-Day's great. I honestly didn't realize how
A crazy war was, man.
intense. Yeah, like, honestly.
You're shooting each other, right? Like, they have guns, like machines.
Yeah.
And in cities, bro, like going pop, 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 pop.
Yeah, they're just gone.
Oh. Tanks and shit, like snipers.
And you think of and it's just someone's life is just gone like that. Boom. Like, the life was very expendable, it seemed. You know?
Different times, man. Weird. Right, dude, I can't even imagine what would happen if, like, a war went off now with nukes. Warren Buffett said it's, like, undeniable we're going to have some sort of war eventually.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, eh?
So, like, again. I'm very interested by China and United States, man. Honestly, a little bit to economics. I don't have no clue what's going on, but, like...
There's some... What's going on there?
Well, China doesn't have free speech, which is interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Like, their government controls their media a lot heavier than it does here.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, they don't... I met someone. There's someone actually that works at Domino's.
Mm-hmm.
Who I asked about China.
What do you say?
I asked them.
Yeah.
And the coworker said, "Uh-oh, you opened a can of worms."
Why?
So I was like, "Okay, Jason, spill it. Let's go."
What did he say? Was he happy or sad with them?
He said, "What's happening in China is sad." He said, "But the people don't know that since, like, 1997 or 87,
Uh-huh.
they belong to China." And that's what he said. He was pro-China, I think.
Interesting.
He was like, they just don't know. And then I was like, oh, okay, interesting. I didn't really want to probe too much, though, honestly, because we were at work, so I didn't want to, like, just, like...
The Hong Kong situation is interesting.
And I honestly don't... I feel like I don't know enough about it. I feel like he could tell me some fact, and I just, like, oh, well, I don't know if that's true or not, so, like, I just have to believe you on that, you know?
Well...
He seemed... Like, I don't know enough.
I want to show you what I've seen. Like, I looked up. Like, I started researching.
Okay.
You saw the photo I sent you.
Yeah.
It's like this Chinese guy looking like he's about to...
No, I feel like it's undeniable. The conditions are fucked.
Yeah. But what I'm more concerned about, what I read, was China doesn't have free speech, and basically, like, Hong Kong's about to, like, inherit those laws federally, and they're going to lose their free speech, and they're like, oh, fuck, like, I don't want to do that.
Oh, yeah, that's fucked. I would not be okay with that at all.
I just find it really interesting, like, the fundamental laws of free speech isn't over there. And I've heard Jordan Peterson say, like, that's, like, the key to, like, tyranny to death. I'm like, oh, what the heck? So I'm like...
Bro, it's like it's a communist country.
So they might go to war where it's like, you know, man, like, I don't know.
Communism is, like, complete government control, is it not? Like...
I think they're like, I don't know. I just don't know. I've heard people say they're like kind of capitalistic over there as well. But like, what does that even mean?
I don't know. Fuck, I don't know.
So a lot of questions about China.
I have no idea what's up with China. Yeah, China.
Other than that, what else did I learn today? I was reading a lot of Warren Buffett. Or Charlie Munger, sorry. Honestly, Charlie Munger's just hammering in the same fucking, like, principles over and over.
Whatever.
It's just, like, make the fucking, like, right decision. Meaning, like, Charlie Munger says that you should have a ballot of 20 times you can make an investment in your life. 20 investments for your whole life. And that ballot card's going to get you rich. So that's how many investments you should make. So, like, you should be sure. Your investment should be boop, 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 boom. You're going to win. And he's big on long term and like...
Because you only have 20.
Yeah. And he says like a lot of this comes from being super prepared. Preparedness is like one of his 4 virtues. Preparing. So that's why he reads 8 hours a day, like learning everything. He doesn't... He only invests Coca-Cola. He doesn't do technology. He doesn't know shit about technology.
Yeah, he only does stuff he knows.
And just, yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, well, I mean, that's interesting because I was...
Oh.
What was I doing?
There's another thing Charlie Munger says too. This is the eye opener once you can like use it. I can't even use it fully myself. But he says multidisciplinary thinking. You take all the big models from all the different disciplines, economics, biology, chemistry, and you use all the big models to make decisions. Because the world's too interconnected and it's too hard to use one model. If you only have one model, you become the man with the hammer. To every problem looks like a nail. Where, you know, another discipline would have a better answer here. So, an example, for every action, there's the opposite equal reaction. Ties this is a lot for any sort of like thing you do. In physics, it's like Newton's or some shit like that. But like, I'd be mean to someone, there's the opposite reaction. They might be mean back,
Yeah.
Another one, invert. So this is the model of logic. So if you want to find the answer to something, okay, what would be you want to live the good life? Invert. Okay, what would make a shit life? If you're like fighting all the time, and that's going to help you figure out what would make a good life.
That's so smart, yeah.
Yeah, those are like the prime ideas, I swear to God, from this book, I think.
What book is this?
Charlie Munger, Poor Charlie's Almanac, or something like that.
Poor Charlie's Almanac. Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna... You know what, honestly, is... I find very interesting in audiobooks.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, I found it very valuable.
Why do you say that?
Because you get a lot of value from it, and it fills a lot of time. Right? And you can... I did David Goggins' audiobook.
Oh, really?
It's 13 hours. because he does a podcast with it.
Right.
Like after every chapter, so it's like it's long.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of the podcast?
It's interesting to hear some of the stuff he was saying.
Have you said anything that's kind of like struck or?
Just this whole principle, man, of just like callousing your mind. Like it just makes
Right.
it just like makes sense. Honestly, like I understand it so well. I feel like it just like.
Can you explain it to me again? Like,
So-
I haven't read it in a while.
Like David came from probably one of the like a very terrible like upbringing, right?
What was it? It was like fucked.
He just got, he just got beat like.
Yeah, fucked. His dad was like a drug dealer or something, right? Like,
No, his dad owned like a roller rink. Like he was making like bank. I feel like he like laid the law of the land. Like he fucking beat them
yeah.
for anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so
As a psychopath, holy fuck.
yeah, so he has all these like he essentially think of it this way. He said, if you can find comfort in the discomfort,
Yeah.
then you'll always like be comfortable, and you can do a lot more than what
Yeah.
you think you can,
Mhm.
right?
You know what's a good story that I find always reminds me of that point there?
Yeah.
That you can always do? Dude, have you, in high school, did you have to read Night? Elie Wiesel Night? Bro, we read, this is on Ty Lopez's book reading list too.
Mhm.
It's a like Holocaust survivor, bro.
Really?
And what they would do, they would have the Jews running on foot, and they'd have like them like carrying shit, like moving camps because they're like getting invaded, or like they're running away from like Normandy because, you know what I mean, Allies are moving in, they're moving the Jews back.
Okay.
They'd have the Jews jogging, carrying all their shit, and the guys would be like on cars and shit, like just walk with them, and like if they stop, like you're dead.
Oh my god.
And there'd be like guards in the back running too, and they'd switch out. They'd switch, you know what I mean? So the Jews just went the whole way, carrying shit.
That's fucked.
And they're undernourished. They don't eat. You just go to the shower, you dead.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, you're capable of a lot, man. And then so then this is something interesting. He said this is something that stuck out. He said, so when you die, right? You think of like he says, think of you know, there's God sitting there and he has a list, and
Yeah.
it's who you should have been, right? And he's like, if I didn't make the change and I was like the 300-pound pest inspector and I sit down there, and he's like, yeah, you're an ultramarathon runner, Navy SEAL, fucking Army Ranger, like all this stuff. He's like, oh, wow. Like, that's crazy. Like, I can't, like, I'm capable of so much, I cannot. He said, I want to surpass that list. I want him to be like, I don't even understand how you did all this stuff. Like, this is not what you're supposed to do, right?
I gotta take a break on that for a sec there.
Yeah.
My teeth are getting fucked.
But yeah, man, I think it's,
David Goggins, interesting. And then the other one, you can push yourself so much further too.
yes.
What was it? I remember he had something called Cookie Jar. The Cookie Jar. Like bad memories or something.
Yeah, you need to know. Okay, you need to know what gets you through that too, right? Because it's different, right?
Oh, okay.
So you have to have a.
You gotta NLP yourself.
Yeah, that's what it is,
happening,
man.
eh?
Like it's a cookie jar of like think of all the times that you've
Your memory.
crushed it
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah. Okay.
You're like, yeah, I did this, I did it, I crushed it, and like, and this isn't as bad as this time, you know. That time was way worse than now. I'm fine for then, right?
It's very interesting how close to that is just selling yourself, man. It's just like selling yourself, it sounds like. Like, think of the times you prove it to yourself. Remember that time you did it? You know?
Yeah.
That reminds me of like Tony Robbins NLP stuff, you know? I don't know, man.
It's all NLP, man.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Dude, NLP sounds like something so fun. There's different ways to apply it.
I think applying it to yourself,
Mm.
that is the key.
Yeah.
That's the key, man.
You can do some good things with it.
You can just, like... understand. No, it's interesting.
What was the other question we had here? Where did I mark them down? Do you remember? How do I read more? I think I know what I need to do, man. I keep fucking this up.
What are you gonna do?
I gotta like time block my time, like super, like a little bit more rigidly.
Super tight. Mm-hmm.
Not like I just need more like structure. I think I need more like put this time at this time to this time I'm doing this every day. At this time to this time I'm doing this every day.
You need your sacred time. That's
Yeah.
what Russell Brunson would say.
This happened to like in school, man. They have you on a rotation. Think of it, bro. Of time. I don't know if like necessarily like the best thing, like, but like I think having that structure just helps.
No, structure is good. You can't deny the structure is good.
But you know what else, man?
What?
Gary Vee says it's just one big game of self-awareness.
Yeah.
So like, how much structure do you need? I don't know.
Yeah, but come on, Gary. You know your day's fucking structured, man. I feel like Gary doesn't wake up and go,
Yeah, he would probably say you need like a little bit to...
what am I gonna do today? Like, he probably knows what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
You know,
Uh-huh.
like, I feel like because
Sure.
he's pretty big. Like,
Absolutely.
he's
Like,
huge. Like a pretty big businessman. So
Gary has an interesting life. Man, that kind of motivated me. After just like, I imagined like what Gary might be doing right now. I'm like, yeah, I just kind of want to go do. I just want to go read. That's what I want to do. I just spend the whole day reading.
I think I'm going to I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna plan my month out right now.
Smart.
Plan my month.
Are you hoping for these online leads?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Honestly.
All right, and that was the end of the podcast.
Yeah. How many do you think?